Time for the digital marketing news this week. Let's dive into it. I've got some really big stories. Also, at the end of this, we're going to go over our marketer of the week. Really amazing story, actually. I can't wait to tell you it. And I'm going to show you a bunch of swag that Google just sent me in their mixtape thing. All right, let's dive into it. So first thing is, big story. Google Ads rolls out automated insights, right? A lot of these different marketing platforms out there are coming out with new AI-driven automated insights. MailChimp did it a couple weeks ago. Google's got it. Tons of platforms have it. So basically, for starters, you'll see Google Trends data on a new Insights page now inside of Google Ads. That's going to show you trending searches, predictions, and then auction insights. So that's really, really powerful stuff. So like, for example, if you're selling saltwater fishing supplies, you might see that pen reel is a trending term and that your competitors are gaining impression share for that term. You might also see Google predict that tuna fishing tactics will be a popular search in the next month. So when we're doing our forecasting now, we might say, hey, that's a term that we should look at, or these are buckets of keywords that we should look at because they're starting to trend up and in a new direction. That's actually even business planning right there, right? That could be future inventory management in a way, depending on how hard you push it. So additionally, Google is testing automated performance max campaigns. So performance max campaigns, basically it works like this. You supply an image or video and ad copy, and then Google uses machine learning to serve your ads across its various properties using smart bidding, and they run on search results, the display network, YouTube, Gmail, and Discover. And then also Google will release video action campaigns to all marketers in the coming weeks. And these run on YouTube and Google Video Partners. We're excited about this. Actually just got off a quarterly business review where we're recommending this. I think it's gonna be really, really good for that client. Next thing is WP Bakery plugin affects millions of sites. So this plugin on WordPress, it has a bunch of vulnerabilities for hackers. So if you have it, go to isithack.com and put in your website and make sure that you're not hacked. Next thing is web stories are taking off in Google. If you don't know what web stories are, if you go into Google and now also Google Discover, you're going to see stories just like you see on LinkedIn, you see on Instagram, you see on Facebook, right? So now Google has stories, and now you need a story strategy for every major website out there that you're doing your marketing on, right? So these web stories are coming to Discover, which is one piece of news. The other piece of news is that Google has 6 reasons why they would ban your web stories from mobile search results. Mostly publishers who are doing this right now, but you should be doing it too, because that might give you a great competitive advantage in your industry if other people aren't doing it. I think it's going to be a bigger thing going into 2021. But you can get banned if you include copyrighted content, use too many words, or include videos more than 60 seconds in length, post low-quality images or videos, have a sentence or post that lacks any narrative or theme, post incomplete web stories, or post overly commercial web stories. So don't do any of that stuff or you'll be banned. Next thing, Google My Business getting into the call tracking game. Watch out, call trackers out there. It's a big industry. Google My Business is developing a new feature that will allow you to see calls triggered from search results. So, according to Google, you can use call history to keep track of phone calls from your customers in Google Search and Maps. Your calls are all in one place to help you respond to any missed calls and stay engaged. Check that out. Also, Google My Business adds more insights, so new data. This first one's kind of cool. So the data shows you how often people contact you after visiting your Google My Business page. So if people go there 100 times, you get 1 contact. What percent is that? Do you know what that is? Yeah. And then if they go there 100 times, you get 2 contacts. Could that be a ratio that you care about? I don't know. Contact or visit to call ratio. So they're coming out with that type of analytics. They're going to also show you how many people saw your business profile in search. And then finally, they're making it so you can't upload anything over 75 megabytes. Before it was 100 megabytes, small detail there. Next thing is Google is still fixing indexing issues. So earlier this week, Google confirmed 2 separate issues with indexing. One issue involved mobile indexing and the other involved canonicalization and how the algorithm detects duplicate content. More recently, Google says it's still working to fix those problems. That's really interesting. Actually, I saw something this week on that, and okay. So according to Google search Liaison official Twitter account, Google engineers have now restored about a quarter of the URLs impacted by canonical issues and about half of those impacted by mobile indexing issues. So it's only a quarter. Saw a site impacted by that earlier this week. Interesting. Okay, next thing, Snapchat launches first commercial ad option. The first commercial ad option is the option for you to have the first commercial on Snapchat. I would challenge you right now. Are you on Snapchat? Are you advertising on Snapchat? In my digital marketing mastermind group, a couple people killing it on Snapchat, talking about it as the next Facebook ads. So yeah, that's a thing. You might want to look into that. They've got some pretty good ad options that they didn't have before. And if you want to be first commercial, you now can be. Couple other things. Our Ignite Marketer of the Week is Penny Baldwin from Qualcomm, SVP CMO, one of the most legendary positions that you can have in an organization, I think. So let me tell you a quick story. Over 10 years ago, I met Dr. Irwin Jacobs. I was working at a business magazine. I had the pleasure of interviewing him. And that was, during a time when Qualcomm was really just kind of coming on and exploding more and more, right? And he was talking to me about the vision for the future of the company. Another 10 years later, I went back to Qualcomm and I interviewed Penny Baldwin. And I sat down with her. I was talking to her about what it's like to be head of marketing, CMO at such a big, amazing company. That was during a time when they were dealing with the Apple issues. I don't know if you remember the Apple technology dispute, legal issues. I was talking to her about that. I have just been so impressed with the leadership over there, how they've handled those issues, how they've navigated it. And then now, today, highest stock price in the history of the company. So I love a good comeback story. That is why Penny Baldwin and the other executive, but Penny Baldwin, Ignite Marketer of the Week. I love hearing these stories about marketers climbing up to these amazing positions and then doing amazing things in leadership and strategy to lead the company into the future, right? Nothing better. Last thing I have, Google sent me a whole bunch of stuff. Google is a great partner of ours. Talk to them all the time. We're BFFs. Here's what Google sent me. They sent me a mixtape bag, which includes a workout band, so I'll be using that. They sent me a couple other things here too. They sent me a Google bag. They sent me some hydration stuff, and then a bunch of other things too. And then they sent me a whole mixtape of all of the latest, coolest things that are going on with Google. Industry data, things about new product, all this advertising insight stuff. I love it. And I just eat that stuff up. So thank you, Google. I really appreciate it. That's it for the digital marketing news this week. Like, comment, leave a comment below. Tell me how you're doing. I love chatting with you online. That's why I like doing these videos. It's fun just to meet people. So go ahead and leave a comment, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.